This is the little 27 Roadster. It's the garage it lives in. There's some of the trophies. My grandsons have most of them. I let them take them. Pretty straightforward deal as described in the Craigslist ad. So modified Model A frame, boxed and Z'd. Fiberglass replica body. 9-inch rear. It's a 49 APA flathead. Blonde headers. Running a 48 style front mount distributor. I like that for the cleanliness. It's got a custom Walker radiator for the flathead in this application. Alternator, it's all 12 volt system. Speedway Super 7, new Super 7 style carburetor. I love it. Best investment I made for this project. Made everything so that I could access it fairly easily. Not going for aesthetics. Remote oil filter, Ford FL1A, coil mount, dual reservoir, manual brakes, hydraulic clutch, Willwood, adjustable proportioning valve, Vega steering box, the headlights, the chrome. A lot of the little things on it are starting to get a little bit picky because it's about 4 years old. She's been caught in the rain a couple times. But again, everything on the car was new when I built it. 47 style replica Harley rear turn signals that I modified to make work on this car. Aftermarket 32 Ford front frame rail extensions to give the nose a little more character. 4-inch drop tube axle. It's a 12 volt system with a 6 volt starter, so she cranks over real well. Not an issue there. This relay right here, this sender was for the electric cooling fan. It, for whatever reason, quit on me. Second summer I had it out, and I just jumpered a wire over with an alligator clip going over to the, grounded it to the back of my alternator, so I had cooling fan for the parade, and never got around to doing anything else with it. Windshield is original. Cut, or it's the lower section of the two-piece Model T windshield for this year. Little peep mirrors. I cut the suicide style door in. Nothing elaborate, but it's all framed and braced well. The interior is no more than Luan, good Luan with black rolled and pleat sheet stock glued to it. The seats, I believe, are out of a, picked them up at a flea market. The guy really didn't know what they were, but they look to me to be Cobra replicas. They just bolt down to the floor. Bottoms lift up. Seatbelts on the passenger side. I don't have seatbelts on my side. I'm kind of old school and a bit of a knothead. I don't believe if they didn't come with them, I don't want them. Steering wheel is 47 Ford. Steering wheel and column came out of my 47 pickup. TCI gauges. The steering gear is 60 chain. I don't want universals. They bind and carry on. This is a pretty straightforward deal. I've run the same thing on the 47 pickup I just built. Modified a clutch arm to go around it. Works well. Ignition, lights. That other hole was for a choke cable, which I never found the need for because this thing starts flawlessly with just a couple pumps of gas. Fuse box is under the dash. I cut the trunk lid in. Made up my own latch system for it. Running an 8-gallon JAZ fuel cell with a sending unit for the gauge. Fuel pumps also mounted in the trunk for fairly easy access. Trunk mounted battery. These frames with the rubber on them are for access to the top shock mount. Body sits a little bit low, so it's easier accessing it here than it is crawling underneath to do it if you ever need to get to the shocks. Kind of built it looking forward to the future. They were throwing out a hospital bed on a construction project I was superintendent on. And I stopped them and grabbed the side rail off of it, cut it down, turned it into a Nerf bar. Tail lights are aftermarket Model A style. Again, pretty much everything on the car is new. Tires, front and rear. Try to get down here and get a shot underneath it all. 9-inch rear on parallel leaves. Park and brakes all work. T5 transmission up there. Cross member. Everything's kind of low on the car, but I don't really ever have any major issues with it. Some roads you do have to watch yourself a little bit, or you're gonna scrape. But that's pretty damn rare. Other than that, I guess the only other issue is how she runs. I'll give her a couple of pumps and see what that does for her. And that's about how she fires off every time. Even after sitting all winter, usually turn the key on, let the fuel pump, prime the carburetor, give her a couple pumps, hit it, and she's off and running. Pulls decent oil pressure, about 50 pounds at normal engine speed, 25 at idle. So I learned about flatheads a few years ago. The oil pressure used to terrify me on the 49 Merc I had. Just the way they were. She runs good. Could use a couple of lift valves adjusted. A little bit of a tick to it. Cold, goes away pretty much warm. Again, it's a flathead. Don't know what more to really talk about the car. It is what it is. It runs good. It is a small car, and it's channeled a little bit, which makes it even worse than factory. I'm 6 foot tall, 212. When I'm in the car, I know you can't see this very well, but I sit up. I've been this tall since I was about 15 years old, so I'm used to things like this, being cramped up a little bit. Tachometer quit. I have a new tach, I just haven't put it in yet. Not sure why that happened, but it did. Anyway, that's pretty much all I can tell you about the car. Thanks for viewing.